Hi everybody. There are so many people going through so many hardships, and even I myself am looking into tiny house. I actually live in a tiny little apartment, so for me to move into something small is no big deal. I'm looking into getting into just a tiny little piece of property someplace and having a she shanty. It's actually my dream. That's what I want to do. It's been what I wanted to do for many years now. And the whole tiny house movement is, you cannot afford to go out and buy a tiny house, guys. You just can't. The people that spend 60, 80, 100 and some $1,000 for a tiny house, guys, that's terrible. So there's this thing that I've always wanted to do for many, many years, and that is to convert a shed into a tiny house. And I've wanted to do this for many, many years. And I have so many times gone and looked at sheds to convert into a tiny house. Now, many of these shed companies will tell you that their rules are, and you're not allowed to put up walls, you're not allowed to put in countertops, you're not allowed to add windows, you're not allowed to do any improvements to these buildings. You're supposed to leave them like they are until you're paid for it. Another thing you need to know is, what are your code rules for your area? I live in an area that in Bates County, we can pretty much do anything, thankfully. Hopefully that doesn't change. But with new, and yes, you're seeing Fred here behind me. Fred is my protector. If you're wondering why there's a golf club behind me, we're not allowed to have firearms in our apartments here, so I have Fred. Anyways, I sometimes sleep in my chair and I keep it here. So I went and I looked at some sheds, and you'll see this video is about the sheds here in this area where I live. And they are the Durskin Company, and they have some very well built sheds. Some of the sheds you need to watch, because where you have the top of where the wall comes up, and you have, what are they called, like headers or whatever, where the wall comes up and there's the 2x4, and then you have the rafters come down. Some of these, where the 2x4, the rafter sits like this. That's not a good thing, because only half of the rafter is sitting on top of the 2x4. You want to make sure that when you're looking at your sheds, either you're going to have to put extra support underneath here to support that rafter completely, or you're going to face an issue down the road. It just doesn't look very safe. So that was the very first thing I looked at when I walked in these, is the construction, and if that is, they are 2 foot in the roof and 2 foot on the what do you call those, the lofts. It is a 2 foot space, but it is, I did not look to see what the specifications were on the floor. I should have asked. I did not ask. There are questions you need to always ask when you look. Do they deliver? How far do they deliver? Is it a rent to own? This company is free delivery and setup within 50 miles. They are a rent to own, but it is their deposit is your first month's payment, providing, here's the catch, it can only be 12 foot wide. Doesn't matter how long, but it can only be 12 foot wide. Anything wider than 12 foot, you have to pay a $50 or 50% deposit. I don't know why. So if you go 14 foot wide building or wider, you have to put down 50%. So let's say I was to decide I wanted the side cabin and I wanted 14-foot wide side cabin by 20 foot instead of the 12 foot by 20 foot, I would have to put down roughly $3,400 down. Ouch. Ouch. Guys, that's a lot. That's a lot of money to put down on something. But if you have it, that's okay. That's a good thing, because that also brings your payment way down. You'll see as I go along, I show the payments. Now, the side cabin is kind of what I'm looking into doing. Yes, I do want something big enough that has a bedroom, a kitchen, and a living room. I am looking into going possibly solar, with the solar panels, a little bitty refrigerator, not a big massive one, cutting my usage back. I don't ever watch TV hardly at all. Once in a great while, my TV sets here, it's not ever turned on. Once in a while, I'll watch a movie, but gosh, guys, I can't remember the last time I watched a movie. I think it was when I got the movie, 3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri was the last time I watched a movie. I kid you not. And that's been months. So, it's been a long time since I've had my TV even on. So I don't watch TV. My basics is charging my phones, charging my laptop, using my glue gun, and my light for, what do you call it? For filming. That's pretty much all I use. And then I have a light that's like a nightlight, 25 watt night light that's also it's not Sensi, it's a different brand, but you get the picture. That's all I have. So for me, a solar panel you've got to, know what you're looking at. You may want a portable generator, just a small one, for times where you're not charging your batteries. You need to look into all these little details ahead of time, know what the codes are for your area, and look for a little piece of property, because guys, that's your hardest part, I think. Now, if you're going to need to be finding a home because you're losing yours, and hopefully you have family that has an area that they will let you plop one of these sheds, because I tell you, they can save you. They can save you from being totally homeless. And there are more brands than just this. There are some sheds that are very, I think it's Tough Sheds, has a 2-story house. I'm looking for a place that might have it. I haven't been able to find a Tough Shed dealer somewhere close by, but I want to go look at more. So do your research, know what you're looking at, know what all your codes and what all the rules are, ask around, make sure that you can go and do this. Plan before you start, because you don't want to have this show up at your property and then find out you can't live in it and then have nothing. So know what you're doing and know what your county allows and what your state allows, because some states don't allow it at all, which is sad, which is downright sad, because in the times that we're living in right now, there's too many people going homeless, that this is a lot better alternative than living in a tent in the middle of nowhere. especially if you have children and you don't want to lose your family. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to show you the one real quick that I want. And knowing the different rules, and also another thing that the gentleman that I spoke to let me know is if you order, it is taking a long time to get these from this company, because 2 to 3 months, because it is getting hard to get the wood. I'm not sure why, but it is. The one that I'm looking at is the side Lofted Barn. Finding a piece of property in our area that is just a small little piece of property is like pulling teeth. They want to charge you $3,000-$4,000 or more for just a small little piece of property with nothing on it. And I don't understand. I really don't. Anyway, some more things that you need to really look at is your bathroom situation. Are you going to compost? Are you going to have just an outhouse? What is allowed in your area? Are you allowed to have an outhouse? Bates County, out in the country area, you can have what's called a lagoon. And you have to know how far away from your building, how far away from property lines. There's those kind of rules. And then, of course, water. Is there a little stream on the area? Do you plan on trucking in water? How are you going to hook up your water pump into your building? And then if you're going to have water, like I plan on having water in just big tanks, bringing it in, and having it pumped in. And then my drinking water and water to cook with will not come out of that tank. My drinking water and cooking water will be separate, because I don't drink a whole lot of water, and I just use water for drinking and cooking. Mostly is bottled water anyways, because the water here in this town just tastes so bad. So that would be nothing new for me anyways. So you have those things to look into. Also, on these buildings, you also want to think about insulating the floor. So how are you going to have these buildings up off the ground? What you're going to have them set on, and how you're going to have your water come into the buildings. Are you going to have them come up underneath? If you're going to have a building built, an idea is to have them put in spray foam insulation under the floor. It's not that much of an extra price. I will add that price here on the screen because I'll have to look it up. It's on the sheet. One of these sheets will say spray foam insulation. I believe in here somewhere will tell what the additional cost is. But it's not that much of additional cost, and it will save you. So you want to have some kind of a thing for this to set on. So there's a lot of things that need to go into planning on what you're doing, your water, how you're going to power it, or if you're just going to not have power at all, if you're going to use a generator, if you're going to use solar, if you're going to, just how off-grid you're going to go if you're going off-grid, if you're going to be partially off-grid, if you're going to have, if you're in an area where you have a lagoon, or if you have to do something, or if you have where you can hook into a well, water provided from a water provider, or electricity, just knowing all that ahead of time before you start with your piece of property. Having a clear shot for these people to get in with your building. When you got your building picked, ask them, how much of a clearance and height do I need to make sure that you guys have to get into my property. Know how wide, know how tall, because the last thing you want is for their truck to get stuck trying to get in there. That means making sure the property's dry, making sure that their truck is not going to physically sink into the ground. A lot of little things to look at when you decide you're going to go shed to tiny home living. So let's get into this video, guys. Hi everybody, you can hear a lot of traffic noise. I am here at Derailed Commodities here in Butler, Missouri, and they are a third-skin dealer. And I know that with everything going on, with all of the problems everybody's having, a lot of people are losing their homes and they're turning to going tiny sheds to tiny home living. And so today I'm going to cover some of these third-skin sheds that can be converted to homes depending on how big of a home you need, how big of a tiny home you're wanting to do. We're going to take a look at some of these that they have available, and the gentleman was letting me know that some of their homes that they're having to build them are taking 2 to 3 months because of getting lumber and things like that is difficult right now. So we're going to take a look at some of these that are on the site here, and we're going to see what they've got. So like I said, you're going to hear a lot of traffic and a lot of noise, and that's because we're right next to 49 Highway. And this is the 3 that they've got sitting right here in front of me. We're going to take a look at this little one first. And it is a lofted, and I like this big wide door. And the habit chain, and it's dark in here. So I'm not going to walk in too far. We're going to take a look at this construction. Let me see if my camera, if I can turn my, hold on. Let me stop and put my light on. Okay, so my light is on my camera. Wish I had a way to hold this door open, but I don't. I do kind of like that if you look at the rafters, they come down, I don't know if they call them headers or what they call these, but they do come down and they set on top here all the way instead of just partially. I've seen some sheds that they don't completely come down. They kind of hang over halfway, which isn't very sturdy. It does have 2 lofts. That's really good. Does have vent. I believe the vent is in both. Yes, the vent is in both ends of this. Let's see what happens when I shut this, if we can still see. Oh yeah, we can still see kind of, because my light is on. You can see there's a loft on both ends of this. Let's see what this says. This is an inventory. You can see this paperwork here. And this is what this one is. Lofted Barn, 8 by 12. So it is kind of small. And there's a bird's eye view of it. And so, again, like I said, you can see there where it comes down, it is completely sitting on top of that instead of some of them hang over. So that's really good. But this is an 8 by 12. This is like tiny. This is basically like somebody has just one person and needs a place to go. You can have a little kitchenette area, maybe a fold-out sofa, put your TV on one wall or whatever, have a bunk on one end, storage on the other end. It would work for 1, maybe 2 people. Let's go check out another one. This one here looks to be a little bit bigger, or it might be just because it's got the dual doors, but I do believe it's a little bit bigger. This one might be a 10 by 12. Let's check it out. I like this. Yeah, it is bigger. And this one I think the door can stay open on. And this one is a 10 by 16. So it is a lot bigger. And the door is going to come shut. It has the windows above. Again, very good constructed. The rafters do sit on top instead of hanging over. That's good. And then we have the 2 lofts, one on each end. And that does look like 2 foot. I don't know, it could be 16, but this is definitely, I believe, 16 here. But that looks more like it's 2 foot up there underneath that. And that looks like 2 foot in the roof. So I don't have anything with the actual specifications on this, but so this is I think this said 10 by 16. Let me look at it again. 10 by 16, 72 double shop built doors, transom window. So, this is nice. This is really nice. This is definitely something 2 people could live in. I'm not sure a bed would, you could put a bed up there, a single bed on either end with kind of a rail, you know, like you would want to. This is doable for 1 person. I don't know. They call this the BRID 25. Hold on, let me find it and I'll tell you what the monthly price would be. I'll just add what the monthly cost would be of each of these on the screen, and we'll go ahead and check out. And now look at these door handles, and I'll check out the next one. So this next one is metal, and it looks to be about the same as that one. So we're gonna check this out. And a lot of people do go with the metal ones because the metal construction is cheaper cost-wise. And it has the fiber wood door floors. You would have to put some kind of wrap so that this had, you know, moisture barrier when you insulate this. You don't have the lofts in this, so you could use this. It would be a very inexpensive way to buy 2 of these and have them go end to end. This would give you a 10 by 32 and put them end to end and have a 10 by, you know, it would be a 10 by 32 home instead of a 10 by 16. And then you'll be able to have living room, kitchen, bathroom, at least 1 bedroom. So, you know, that is always an option with these more inexpensive buildings. And then, of course, you know, you would have to be sure to do a little more with insulating and stuff like that. So we're gonna go and check out another one. So this is the side lofted barn. It has, again, the metal roof. Those over there, I believe, were metal also. And I really like the way this looks. It has the 2 windows on the front. Makes it very open. And I don't see a paper right offhand. Here it is. And it is a 12 by 20, so it's a little bigger. Has the windows, and it has the double shop built doors. And of course you have the 2 lofts, 1 on each end. Again, your upper rafters come and sit on top completely, not hanging over like some of the sheds do. You do want to make sure that, like where that is, you can see that hole right there where the air can come through. Make sure you seal all this. You know, vapor barriers and that sort of thing. They do have regulations where you're not supposed to finish the insides of these sheds. The gentleman did say they have repossessed them before from people, and they've had sheetrock put up and things like that where people have finished off the inside. You're not supposed to, supposedly, but you know, people are looking for alternatives. What I like about this is you can make a loft bed up there, or you can just simply use that for storage, and you can have like a kitchen dining area at one end, your living area at the other end, and have like a fold-out sofa, like a small fold-out sofa. Your TV, use one door and not the other, you know what I mean? And again, we have the floors painted. It is the particle wood like these are. And this is the side lofted barn, and it is the 12 by 20. So you're looking at $230, 12 by 20. Right there, $230.74 a month at 60 months. And that means if you can be approved for the loan, because these are loans, these aren't like, or if you go 36 months, the 12 by 20, like this one, is, let me find it again for you, $283. This does go to 12 by 30, and of course the price goes way up. A 12 by 36, you could actually make a bedroom out of it, but look at the price of that. The 12 by 36 is expensive, guys. So let's go ahead and check out another one. Okay, so this is just a utility, and this is kind of like what you would pull in a car or garage. Some people do, I don't know if this is going to let me in it or not. No, this is locked. So I can't get into that one. And then we have this. I have seen people purchase these and close them in as part of their houses, because you've got a really solid building, you've got a solid roof, and I don't know what the prices of these, but I can look them up real quick, and I'll put these prices for these also on the screen here when I find them. But I think out of all of them, I've always liked this one here. This one here is the most logic of all of them. And if you could take like even just a regular one that's about the same size, or just get a bigger one, you know, or over the years add on to this. These are actually really, really nice. This would be my choice. Of course, I'm looking for someone that has the tough sheds. The tough sheds, let me show you this again. The tough sheds have a 2-story house that's only $25,000. What is the cost of this one? The 12 by 20 is $6,230. A tough shed 2-story home is, let me see if I get this right, was like $26,000, $27,000. So I'm looking for someone that's not too far away that has tough shed. So I'm going to keep looking. I'll talk to you guys later. So I hope you like these videos. I personally absolutely love that side lofted building. That is my dream building. 20 foot is kind of small, but yet, like I said, I want to add a part on the front of it, just the way I want to do it. But I am on a budget, a tight budget. And then looking for a piece of property, everything that falls into place. And I know what I have to work with. So I know my overhead, and you should always know your overhead before you step into this, because you don't want to be in a position where you're going to think this is what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden what you want is pulled out from underneath you, because they will in fact take these back. And this is another adorable, and they call that the side lofted cabin. And that is, it comes with a little porch. They are cute, but you lose a lot of your footage inside. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this. Watch for another video, because I am going to go look for more buildings to show you more options. This is just one company. There are other companies out there that do these, and I'm going to go look at some more buildings hopefully this weekend. So watch for another video, and hopefully by later this spring, hopefully I will find a piece of property and I will take you on this journey with me. So hang out with me, guys.